What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob007 channel, coming to you from beautiful and invigorating Venice Island. Actually, a little too cold to be down at the beach this morning. Does not merit 5 out of 5, but the title of this episode is XRP December Will Shine Like Gold, and a $68 XRP imminent. Watch this episode to the end. I got a fun feisty one for you guys, and like the Black Eyed Peas, I got a feeling that December is going to be a good month, or actually I have a feeling it's going to be a great, unbelievable month. Comment down below and want to know what you guys think. Also want to do a shout out to Stefan over at DWP. Pleasure to meet you over the phone. Look forward to meeting you in person, and your chess move moving on over to DWP was the right one. So you're at the right place at the right time, my friend. And also a disclaimer, this channel is actually just for not financial advice. Anything I say on this channel is actually just for educational and entertainment purposes only. There, I got it. I got that taken care of. And thank you as always, as we are looking at 9,000 subscribers. That's our next run. We're going to try to hit 10,000 before the end of the year. Can we go all the way? I think we can do it. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for Friday. The weekend is here. And if you do Twitter, follow me at Rob XRP 007 on Twitter. Love my Twitter family. And also we'll get 2 minutes, 2 seconds for our sponsors. Again, top in iTrustCapital, one of my favorite places to custody. 0 fees on custody, 1% on trades, and you get $100 when you open up an account. Links in the description. You don't have to put in any code in or anything like that. Caleb and Brown, absolutely love those guys. Again, institutional grade custody. You got a phone, you can pick up a broker. And the biggest reason of all why I have this is I do know, zero doubt, that all these exchanges, when we start to run out of XRP and you're trying to get a sell order, it ain't gonna happen, but it will. Over at Caleb and Brown, link is in the description. You can get KYC'd in 48 hours. Get ahead of the curve on that, because we could be in the banana zone any day now. And Kraken, love my Kraken exchange. You get upwards of $150. You open up an account with those guys. Link is in the description as well. I use them because I can get a tight trade and not have a lot of slippage. Last but not least, that ROI on your XRP OMG. Email me your name, number, and a good time to call you. Emails in the description. Be leery of imposters. And the reason why I really sleep well at night is this is the #1 place for institutional grade of its highest quality in anywhere on planet Earth. So absolutely love that. And then if you call me, you'll understand why I'm grinning about this too. And last but not least, Crypto Philosopher. Okay, as we get into our episode here, Crypto Philosopher says that the dollar is on the cliff. The QE's December 1, and a reset could be on the 27th. That was yesterday. That's old news. Did it happen? Nope, but it was kind of fun just to think that we could have a Thanksgiving day that would blow us away. But I will say, John up in North Carolina was spotted on a boat outside of Orlando smoking his cigar in front of Tiger Woods' old house, and that famous house, if you all know that, with the golf club and the car and all that stuff. So yeah, that just seems like way too much fun to spend Thanksgiving. Currently, we got Bitcoin at 91,000. It's flat on the 24-hour. XRP, boy, went down to 218. Actually, a little bit lower than that. Down 1.5% on the 24-hour. But when it comes to who's on first, I don't know. But, I don't know. It's actually on third. We all know that. But who's on deck? In the bullpen, let's count them. This is what I'm so bullish and excited about. We got 21 shares XRP ETF going live on Monday. And then next week as well, we got coin shares, and we have Wisdom Tree to follow. That will make 7 in the hopper, all going after XRP. That's going to be absolutely, the numbers are great with 4. Add 3 more, can be mind-blowing. Jack the Rippler, by the way, says breaking ETFs, speaking of which, about to reach 1 billion in under a month. And not even under a month, we're talking like 2 weeks. 5 billion, and keep in mind, there's only 5 billion of OTC, over the counter. That means we got 4 billion left, baby. And when that's gone, they're coming for your XRP. And they'll be forced to buy it off the exchanges, and that is called a supply shock like we have never seen before. And also, silver soars. If you saw it this morning, really interesting stuff. The CME actually halted, cited that they were overheated servers. A lot of people go, yeah, let me tell you that. Or is it the COMEX 589 rule, where they actually kind of just put a pause and the brakes on when it gets overextended and overheated in either direction? But It hit $57, the highest price for silver in history. And then also the Fed, this is neat, in about less than 30 minutes, they're going to reveal their balance sheets. That drops at 4:30. Volatility to ensue in either direction, so it could send the crypto markets pumping. We'll know in not too short order. This episode, that will probably come out before this episode airs. And I just want to remind you guys, this is probably the best analogy I can think of in the world. And I'll actually stick this one up here and think about it every single day going in for the foreseeable future. You know, we're 20 goldfish in this little goldfish bowl of water, and there are 10,000 flakes of XRP. We're getting dumped 200 more goldfish in that bowl, now be gobbling the same supply of those 10,000 GFRs. That's the goldfish tokens, right? GFTs, goldfish tokens. And so anyway, it's just all of a sudden that just demand for your XRP is going to go through the roof. And keep in mind, the other biggest thing about this, they're not little goldfish. The average goldfish that they're dumping in from the traditional side of finance, those accredited investors, their bag's about 30 times larger than retails. Unbelievable. So anyway, so that's what has me really exciting, and the numbers prove it. And I always said all along, it's like, well, when we were in a speculative market with retail goes in and out in these 4-year cycles, but we have something we've never had before, and that is XRP spot ETFs, and we're talking about bringing the titans, the financial titans, into this space. Unbelievable. And also, worth repeating, define massively high, poolside Chad, he was going on yesterday, was in the last episode talking about how, yes, they are going to have to make the price of XRP massively high before it all goes away, or it could be that just the ETFs on their own make the, ends up with a price of going from $50 to $100. So massively high, yeah, my guess is that 3-digit XRP. And also the rich list. I've been studying the rich list. I'm so grateful to the rich list. Rich list is what me got going back 5 years ago. And I realized that you can actually break it down so many different categories. And I thought, if I just buy 500 more, I'll have 2,500 and I'll be in this little bracket of people, and so on and so on. So, but let me tell you that what's happening with the rich list. They're getting shaken out. Institutions are buying the retail XRP, zero doubt. And all you got to do is look at the 0.01% of all XRP holders. It had been 5 million is what you had to hold. Now it's only 4 million. To be in the 0.1%, it had been 500,000. Now it's only 301,000. The 1%, to be in the top 1%, you have to hold 49,293. To be in the top 2%, 23,777. Top 5%, about 8,000. Top 10% if you own 2,300. And I always talk about, when I meet people over the phone, I said you kind of fall into one of a couple of different categories. You're either 10,000 or under, or you have these perfect round numbers like 25,000, 50,000, or you're north of 100. But this is evidence that retail is disappearing. And again, I always got to say it, by the time we hit 20, 50, and 100, how many retailers are still going to be in the game? All right, this is from Blue up on Cedar Key. Shout out to you, Blue. Enjoyed our last conversation. He says 100% the markets are being manipulated, to paraphrase him. He says, as also the possibility it's being done through trading bots. Talked about actually sending me some 1-hour candles on XRP, and he said, yeah, kind of obvious. And also in the news, Donald J. Trump doubling down on the fact that we may have very little taxes or no taxes going further because of the tariffs are doing so well. Yeah, he's kind of hedging his bets against the Supreme Court, and also basically trolling the Supreme Court in case they rule against him. It's like, yeah, they'll be taking money out of your pocket and my pocket if that happens. So that's another thing that we're just waiting on. It's like, when this gets resolved, I don't know. Sooner the better, in my humble opinion. That's just another thing we do not know if it takes until next year. And yes, speaking of Twitter, like I said, I actually got verified on Twitter. So yeah, there are tons of imposters to me. I now have that blue check mark. Again, it's at Rob XRP 007, and kind of fun doing that just because I can see an uptick in my followers. And yeah, we're over 5,000 followers up on Twitter now. Yeah, so that's really exciting. Going to see if we can't get that to 10,000 before the year's out as well. And my quote of the day, none other than Jake Clavert, saying that $10 XRP He says it's going to move so fast it's going to make your head spin. I'm paraphrasing Jake, but I think Jake's pretty much what he meant. And Kenny Wynn out in California, shout out to you, Kenny, says Fed printed 2.75 billion, the largest since C19, and actually we can up the ante to about 4 billion on that. An X-Finance bull up on X goes to say RLUSD got regulatory approval in UAE, a financial hub of the world. That is really exciting to see. Again, expect more great fireworks with RLUSD. And again, I watched a couple of clips on Brad Garlinghouse. One about the banking license. He was commenting on that today. Secondly, talking about RLUSD and how that they are after just one group of people, that is large financial wholesale payments of financial institutions. So, just another reason why I hold XRP. And breaking news, XRP reserves plummet on Binance. Yeah, when I talk about a supply shock, we know it's plummeted over on Coinbase. Now we got evidence it's plummeting on Binance. I think they have the largest amount. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. And for a little TA down by the beach, none other than Dark Defender, he says, we see signs that we are actually in wave 5, or our Elliott wave theory count of 5 waves. And he says, things will start to move quickly and once we escalate above $3. Cannot wait to get back to $3 again. OMG. And also, just for that batting lineup, speaking of who's on first, this are the kind of stuff we have going in addition to the Supreme Court ruling on that tariffs, because it's either going to be really, really good or really bad for the markets when that happens. So that's a big question mark. Can we get that before the end of the year would be great. Quantitative easing begins December 1. ETFs, we got them, throw another 3 by the end of next week. That's going to be 7 in the bullpen. Number 3, Ripple Bank license is pending. When do we get it? And sometimes it makes me think it won't happen until next year. It is pending and won't be counting on that. Rate cuts, they are actually scheduled to happen on December 10th. Only about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks away. And we'll see if we get none, a quarter, or a half. I think a quarter is kind of the prevailing thought. And also number 6, let's see what we got. The stuff we don't know about. That's one of my favorite things. We got all the things that we are aware of. What about the things we don't know about? That's really the exciting part. And it goes to conclude with this. We are only one announcement away from XRP and God's green candle and just not being able to touch it. And also XRP going parabolic. Here's the other thing that I'm really excited about. You know, that's a fun trifecta of stuff. The escrow. When will we hear something about that? That will be just unbelievable. BlackRock. Will we hear something about them before this month is out in an ETF? And also, what about X payments? I actually think that's going to be really huge when we get that. So there's 3 with a question mark that may or may not happen for the month of December. My countdown clock, I'll have them. They're a lot of fun. One is that my countdown clock is now 150 days away. That would be the end of June. And that would be my worst case date for a 4-digit XRP and a flip the switch moment. Could happen in 60 days. It could happen in December. Anything can happen in this space. Don't believe it. It's true. And my $100 bet by the end of the year, I'm still crossing my fingers. It's a fun, feisty bet. But yeah, I do have a minimum target of $20 by the end of the year. And for me, be still my XRP beating heart. That is absolutely beautiful coasting money for the next 6 months into Q1 and Q2 of 2026. And by then, I think it's lights out, game over. And finally, the best for last. This is from Bo Poinoy. Poinoy. I'm not sure how we pronounce that, but anyway, he says that won't be able to hold it back this week. Biblical spike imminent. Next target, wait for it. He says $68. Could we see $68 for your XRP in a week? Comment down below. If we do, boy, I'm not sure what you think about that, but for me, sounds like a bigger boat. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.